Welcome to another episode of Daily Scaries. Warning, you might want to keep the lights on for this one. March 18th, 1978, Stockton, California. The evening air was calm and the neighborhood felt safe. Families settled in as dusk fell, unaware that danger was quietly approaching. That night, Bob and Gay Hardwick enjoyed a simple date, dinner, and a movie. They returned home around 10 p.m., ready to call it a night, and went to bed believing they were safe. But as darkness settled over their home, an unimaginable nightmare was about to begin. Bob and Gay slept soundly, unaware of the threat lurking just outside their door. Suddenly, a harsh beam of light cut through the darkness, jolting them awake. Confusion instantly turned to terror. At the foot of their bed stood a masked intruder, calm, menacing, and completely in control. He ordered Gay to tie Bob up, pressing a gun to her face as she did so. The intruder then led Gay to another room, placing plates on Bob's back as a warning. If they made a sound, he would know. What followed was horrific. The masked man assaulted Gay repeatedly while Bob lay helpless. The attacker lingered, eating from their refrigerator and drinking 2 beers while the couple remained bound. He ransacked their home, tormenting them with threats of death. After 2 agonizing hours, he finally left. Gay crawled down the hall to Bob, both still tied up. Working together, they managed to knock the receiver off their old rotary phone and dial 0 for help, hands still bound behind their backs. By the time police arrived, the Golden State Killer had vanished into the night once again. Bob and Gay were his 31st known victims. Investigators later discovered the intruder had entered through a back door with a broken deadbolt. The trauma of that night never left the Hardwicks. Years later, they received a chilling phone call. Gay recognized the same heavy, forced breathing. She knew it was him. That sound haunted her, a reminder that the terror was never far away. The aftermath was filled with nightmares and anxiety. The Hardwicks struggled to reclaim their sense of safety. Bob was plagued by thoughts of what he could have done differently, but ultimately found solace in the fact that they survived. Meanwhile, the Golden State Killer continued his reign of terror across California, his identity a mystery for years. Bob and Gay's ordeal became part of a massive investigation that captivated the nation. But the Hardwicks refused to let fear define their lives. Instead, they became advocates, supporting other victims and inspiring hope in their community. In 2018, Joseph James DeAngelo was finally caught. He pleaded guilty to 13 murders and 13 kidnappings, sparing his own life through a plea deal. At DeAngelo's hearing, Bob and Gay read their victim impact statements, confronting the man who had changed their lives forever. More than 40 years later, Bob and Gay remain together, choosing hope and resilience over fear. Even in the face of darkness, they refuse to let evil win. Their